Hello everyone. Today is Saturday, March 9th, and we're going to do a post analysis, a brief post analysis of how the previous week went. Um, so today we're going to do this, and then tomorrow we're going to do multiple currencies regarding how the next week outlook for them looks like. So, if you've been through the previous weekly analysis that we did last Sunday, you would have a little bit of an idea of what we were looking to do and why we were looking to do it. Anyway, so just focusing on what we're gonna do today in this video is we're gonna talk about the trades that we took during the past week. It was a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm being honest with you, this was the best week of the year so far. The markets were very volatile. There was a lot of news coming out, and made good money. Did not trade it yesterday NFP, but overall, it was a wonderful, wonderful week. Let me just walk you through with the trades that I took and I missed this past week, because that's the purpose of it, right? We go through what we've done in the past to get better understanding of what should we do better next time or next week or next month or next day or next hour for that matter. That's the purpose of doing post analysis and everything like that. Okay, so to begin with, took three trades, yeah, three trades this week. Missed one massive trade, but it is what it is, right? You cannot be in all of the trades. I mean, I wasn't in on my preferred pair on yens too. Would have preferred CAD yen or dollar yen, but still made a lot of money, right? This is a lot of money. And if it does continue to go, I mean, looks like it will. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Today, we're just going to discuss the trades that were taken, the updates on them, and a brief explanation on how they went. So to begin with, if you remember, we talked about yens getting stronger. Yen did get stronger for the whole week. Past week was massive trades on yens coming from daily time frames. Did get in on euro yen. It's doing pretty well at the moment. I mean, today the market is not open, but when the market opens on Monday, so it's just making new lower highs and lower lows. It's going through buyers. Could be problematic here, but we'll see. But anyway, this was the first trade that was taken on Tuesday. Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. So this was the trade that was taken on Tuesday. Went so far, still going, and you know, I've made an explanation video on this. You can go visit that. CAD yen. Oh, what a massive sell. So we did predict that the prices are going to come all the way down to there, at least if not lower. At least if not lower, because you can clearly see the prices, shifting interest, right? Explained it in the weekly analysis. You can go and visit that again and see what we were looking for and why we were looking for it. Did massive sells, uh, has basically made lower lows now. Any pullback could continue to go lower, but again, we'll discuss that tomorrow. Today, we're just gonna go through the outcome of our analysis that was done on last Sunday, right? Dollar yen, as we discussed, it's gonna continue to go lower. Targets are all the way down to there on this, if not lower. Uh, Aussie yen had a bit of a difficult time. The reason why is, first of all, Aussie is also strong, but if you compare it with the rest of the yens, right, this is all one buy. You do not see any clear shift in the momentum, right? I mean, of course, the seller is coming in stronger, but you're still inside this buyer that bought from here and went all the way up to there, and you still haven't gone through this. Right, so we'll discuss about it tomorrow too. That is why it has lagged behind. First of all, Aussie is stronger in comparison to other currencies. Secondly, you're still inside this buyer. If you take a look at euro yen or CAD yen, on the even on the daily time frame, this was the buyer that bought last, and then the prices turned to sell side. Same on CAD yen, this was the buyer that bought last, and then the prices turned to the sell side. Same on dollar yen, maybe later on, but dollar is so weak, and then the prices are going down now. But Aussie yen, and there is another yen that did not perform as good as euro yen or CAD yen or dollar yen or Swiss franc yen, stuff like that. Sorry, this is Swiss franc yen. Yeah, Swiss franc yen also discussed that it's going to continue to go lower. So the reason why, this is a very important point, and I need you to understand this and focus on it, right? I'll show you another example of where yen had a hard time to buy or sell on the specific chart. That's pound yen or Aussie yen, because if this chart is selling, that means that yen is getting stronger, right? Because yen is on the right side, Aussie is on the left side. So this chart is um, telling us the price of Australian dollar against yen, and if this is going down, that means that yen is getting stronger and Aussie is getting weaker, stuff like that. But if you focus here, this is all one buy. In comparison to how it happened in CAD yen or Euro yen, this is different, right? Because this is all one buy, and you do not see any sellers in between that got broken to the opposite side. I mean, you cannot identify where the last leg of buys happened. Of course, on 240 you can, and the sell is happening on this too, but the distance that it has traveled is much less than that of euro yen or CAD yen or Swiss franc yen or dollar yen for that matter. And this is the reason why. I'll show you pound yen too. Exactly the same reason, and we did discuss it because in the analysis that we did on Sunday last week, that this is still inside a buyer, right? You can see the difference between the price action on again euro yen, CAD yen, dollar yen, Swiss franc yen, and then Aussie yen and pound yen are still inside this buyer, right? That is why the sell had a harder time going farther on these currencies, on these currency pairs. Anyway, this was about yens. Dollar yen, of course, massive sells. Dollar got pretty weak too. Kiwi yen is also another example of why the price had to hold for a little while, and now it's made a lower low, so could continue to go all the way down in there after it pulls back again. We'll discuss that in the video tomorrow. For today, it's the same thing, right? On Aussie yen, uh, Kiwi yen, and pound yen, you were still inside this buyer where the momentum had not shifted to the opposite side, right? Talking about levels. Anyway, so this was how yen performed. We, again, predicted it on Sunday last week, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Of course, it gets a little tricky to get in on the moves that are coming from a higher time frame because they mess around for a little longer. But overall, it did do what it was supposed to do. Coming to euros, so the other two trades that I took were CAD interest rates. So this was basically coming from yens, and then the CAD interest rate, I took two trades. Did make an explanation video on both the trades. One's CAD, Euro CAD, the other is dollar CAD. Euro CAD, I could not ride it all the way down to there, although when the momentum shifts and things start to go lower, the targets were all the way down to here. But I was afraid of how the price action was turning out to be on Euro CAD. A little more tricky than it was on dollar CAD. Dollar CAD was pretty smooth. We'll go through that, but this was another trade that I took, and I got out down here. Left so much money on the table, but made good money on this, so it is what it is. Uh, Took another trade on this with euro interest rate, and this is an example of I'm gonna throw a learning curve towards you guys, that no matter how cocky you are, the markets will always be cockier. Yeah, it's true. The markets will always be cockier. So what happens with euro interest rate? Let's just talk about CAD first, and then we'll talk about euro and a massive miss trade on pound dollar, right? So explain this in the video previously that is posted on the channel. Got out down here. The reason why is because I got afraid of how it started to come up again. Although my stop loss did survive and I did make money off of it, but not as much as I could have. You know, could have, would have, should have. We cannot rely on that in the industry. But left so much money on the table, and then this, of course, was a wonderful trade. Did take it with the CAD interest rate. Did the explanation and everything on this too. You can go and watch it in your own time. made me quite a bit amount of money, and I some of it is still running, although I'm a little skeptical of CAD after NFP, but some of it is still running. I took some profits down here yesterday, and then some profits down here yesterday. The reason why, you can see why, right? I don't need to tell you why. Why did I take profits on this, down here? Did not close full position, but closed up, a big chunk of my position. The reason why is, clearly you can see that this is a support, and it is a difficult level for the price to break. It could break. I'm not saying it won't. It could break, but it's a difficult level because how strong the buyer came in, then the buyer came in again, went all the way up to there, and blah blah blah. We all know the drill. Okay, so this was about CAD interest rate. Although we predicted that CAD is going to get weaker with interest rate, that did not happen. But again, the price action showed us that it's not getting weaker. So there was no point in selling CAD, right? It wasn't making any sense to sell the CAD looking at the price action. So that's what it is, right? Even if your bias is towards one thing, you need to focus on what the price action is telling you, and act accordingly. That's what it is. You can't just stick to your bias. You have to be flexible. You have to try and understand what the chart is telling you, what the price on the chart is telling you. So although the overall analysis in CAD was wrong, and of course we knew it could be wrong, same with euro, because of the news can do anything, right? It can tell you that it's going to do one thing, and then it does the opposite, and that's exactly what happened when, on euro interest rate. So I'll walk you through the euro interest rate, euro CAD, of course, because CAD got strong with its interest rate, and then the next day there was euro interest rate. So I took a trade on this down here, down no 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 down here somewhere. Yeah, here. This is where I took the trade. Yeah, let me just get rid of all of these drawings. Yeah, this is where the trade was taken. In here, stop loss above this, and rode it all the way down to there, and then closed full position. Why? Because I mean, it's not just a hunch that I'm going to close the full position. It's because the price has traveled so far down so quickly, it cannot just continue to go down, right? It's got to at least pull back, if not turn into a buyer, which in this case, this has turned into a buyer and could continue to go higher now. We'll discuss that tomorrow. But because the price has fallen down so sharply, it cannot continue to go, right? And if it cannot break through this, then of course we're still inside a bigger buyer. This is a bigger buyer because you can see the buy started from here, went all the way up to there. So this is a higher high. If this basically it was the introduction of sellers into the market for the price to buy. Now it is again a little tricky. You don't know if it's going to go through this or not. Well, we would want to see it go through this and then continue to go. But again, we'll discuss this tomorrow, not right now. So this was the fourth trade that I took this week, and let me quickly walk you through a massive buy on pound yen that I called on. When did I call it? I called it on Wednesday, and look at where the price is at right now. This is where I called the buy. I did not get an entry on it, and the prices have gone through the daily resistance and whatnot, so far high up. So this was the post analysis of what happened the past week. Um, Again, this is an example of no matter how cocky you are, the markets will always be cockier. So I wanted to continue to sell it. It just did not do what it was supposed to do, according to my understanding, and then continue to buy because the markets will always be cockier. Keep that in mind. All right. This was the post review of how the past week went. And again, it was a wonderful week. You'll not have this kind of week every week. Every week, that's what I can say, right? There'll be losses along the way. There'll be break evens along the way. It's not always profit. There'll be missed trades. There'll be all of that stuff. So you just gotta find the balance and continue to work hard and push. All right, guys. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So we're gonna do the weekly analysis, the pre-analysis of the markets on what they're gonna do, probably gonna do in the next week, and we'll catch you with that video tomorrow. Stay tuned. Cheers.